All right, good morning, everyone. That's it? It's not even that early, but good morning. Thanks for coming out this morning. My name's Ben. I work at Adobe, but my focus there is all around our partnership with Microsoft. So this morning, as the session says, I'm going to focus on showing you some of the products and some of these integrations. And I was thinking before I started the session, sometimes I see breakouts and people like show photos of their kids and like relate it back to like the topic. I don't have kids, so instead I wanted to do this. Does anyone know what this is or who this is? Okay. This is, if it can animate for me here. This is, okay, we're gonna do it over here. This is Banjo and Kazooie. These are video game characters. Has anyone ever heard of this game? It came out in 98, and it was originally a Nintendo game, but it became part of the Xbox family, so that's why I feel okay talking about it at this event. So this came out in 98, and I wanted to make a comparison, as some people do with like their kids on Disney trips. I was like, okay, well, let's talk about this duo that works together to go on adventures. And I guess our adventure here is marketing and sales, while theirs was collecting puzzle pieces. So with that fun analogy being said, really quickly at Adobe, we have three businesses that we focus on. We have the creative business, which you're probably really familiar with, things like Photoshop, Illustrator, that legacy there. We've got our document business as well, which you also might be very familiar with. Things like, the PDF services, the evolution of document management. But what we're really going to focus on today is this Experience Cloud. And this is all around transforming the way businesses operate using digital software. And when we're going to talk today at a product level about specific products, but before we dive into that, I want to talk about the architecture beneath all of this here. So I'll mention a couple times today. If you may have seen or probably heard our announcement yesterday, partnering further with Microsoft and SAP around a common data platform, if you will, a common data language. And that's really the core of what we do between our two companies here, is how we exchange information back and forth. And a lot of times when we think about partnerships and we think about data exchange, it's like one to passing over through a channel, through a connector. And what we're building, what we're continuing to evolve on, is moving beyond this world of just I send you a piece of data, you send me a piece of data from solution to solution, and it's more of a streamlined real-time conversation. And that's why we're so excited about the data announcements from yesterday. And then just to give you an idea of, before we dive into the products a little more, what we're doing across the organizations here. So today we're going to talk about two products specifically that we have at Adobe. That's Adobe Campaign and Adobe Experience Manager. I'm going to show you both of those in action, and then I'm going to show you a little bit behind the scenes about how I set them up for those demos. But essentially what we're doing at our partnership is across everything we do, right? It's across everything from web content management, how you build your websites, to how you send your emails, to how you manage your analytics integrated with Power BI, to how you send contracts for signature from Dynamics. So we're doing a whole bunch of stuff here. And as I said, today we're really going to focus on Campaign and Experience Manager and how those tie into Dynamics here. So I mentioned this before, but Banjo and Kazooie love to collect these little puzzle pieces here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do that ourselves here if we can have a little bit of fun. I know it's early, and I know you guys are quiet, but we're going to do a few different demos, right? And we're going to focus them on the platform that supports them, and then we're going to look at Campaign and Experience Manager. And so to do that, I have two demos for you. Our first one is not this one. Our first one here, if I can get my resolution right, we're gonna talk about a retail example here. And I like to start with this demo because it's pretty broad, right? It's gonna show you how a lot of Adobe technology works together as a foundation, and then how we tie that into Dynamics. After this demo, we'll go into a financial services demo as well. One thing I like about this demo is that we've built something special into it we call an X-ray panel. Now, X-ray panel is not something you go out and buy, right? And for a lot of you in the room, it's probably not something you would ever want to work with because you're going into the code and developing it yourself. But when we're talking about how these products work together, sometimes it helps to build out a way of seeing how data interacts. And so that's essentially what the X-ray panel is here. And what it's going to show us as we go through this demo is how the profile is built around an individual from different data sources. And what I want to touch on first is that this website is using Experience Manager. If you're not familiar with Experience Manager, it's our content management web personalization tool. So building out your sites, managing your content, whether it's on your web page or in your mobile app, or even where we have customers in Las Vegas who are using intelligent screens. So as you walk through the casino, the screens change dynamically, and that's powered by Experience Manager. So with that lengthy preamble, we'll dive right in here. So we're going to start off as an anonymous user here on the website who's just kind of browsing around. We'll look at the different content. We'll come over to equipment. And as we continue to navigate here, we're beginning to build a profile for personalization, right? If I click into hiking, now we're beginning to learn about this person. Even though we may not know their first name, they haven't logged in yet, we're beginning to understand who they are. So in fact, if we come back to our homepage here, we're going to see the homepage has updated the content, right? We have changed the content to now being about hiking because we're learning more about this individual, and we now know that this is what their preferences are. So this is Experience Manager at work for personalization. And I'll show you a little bit more of that. If we, again, go into equipment, and this time we say surfing, and go back to our homepage, we again see that that profile has evolved to include the surfing piece as well. So this is Experience Manager working to personalize this content here. Now, what I'll do is I'm just going to kind of simulate the purchase process here. We'll add a product to our cart. And at this point, this is really the piece where we go from being an anonymous individual to a known user, right? And this is a really important part when we're talking about, of course, dynamics, is being able to identify and have a conversation with that individual on a one-to-one basis. So what we've done is we've gone ahead, made that purchase, and this is where Adobe Campaign first steps in. So if I switch over to my email account here, I receive my purchase confirmation here. Here we go. My purchase confirmation, that's a triggered email coming from Adobe Campaign, right? So what Adobe Campaign can do is send you communications in real time across a variety of channels. So think about you make a purchase, you expect that email right away. Is anyone here an email designer or email marketer? Okay. If you bring anything back, don't tell them that this is a good email design, because this is not our best email design here. But so Campaign is all about that cross-channel communication here. And so this is an example of a real-time email communication. And what we can do with these sorts of messages is, because these are the most engaging types, they have the highest open rates. You can actually, nope, you can't. You can actually put offers into them that drives further engagements, right? So because these are the most opened emails, they're the most powerful in that sense. So let's switch into dynamics for a minute and talk about how all this information passes over here. So if I come into dynamics and take a look at my leads, I have Sarah's in here. And we can see a few different things here, right? We can see all of her profile information. We can also see the segments that are coming in here. So when we signed up and we made that purchase in Campaign, or actually when we logged into Campaign, in this case it was through a purchase, but when we log into Campaign, it's when we're passing that information over to Dynamics. So this is an example, pretty simple, right, of how Experience Manager is personalizing the web content, and then Campaign is being used to send out the information. So that's kind of the quick little piece here. And I want to broaden that story with a second demo here. Okay, so I will start this demo, wealth management. This is going to be focused, again, on the entire customer journey, and we're going to highlight Experience Manager as well as Campaign. So we'll start off here as a user who wants to look up wealth management. I'll tell you, typing on stage is the hardest thing. And we get this first thing, our first engagement on Bing is this paid advertisement here. This is our first touch point with Adobe. This is our ad cloud driving the user in. But if we click into this here, we come to our WeFinance website, which is powered by, of course, Experience Manager and powered on Azure as well. And so because we're using Azure here, we're able to have the Azure Bot service integrated into Experience Manager for that conversational AI experience here. So yeah, I'm good. And we can have a conversation with the intelligent agent here. Again, pulling data from Experience Manager from Dynamics here. So one thing that I should be really clear about here is that Experience Manager and Campaign natively integrate with Dynamics, right? So all that data can go bi-directionally, and I'll show you a little bit more of that in a few minutes here. So we're not going to do the whole conversation. It gets pretty lengthy. So if we come over here to our form management, Experience Manager isn't just about sites personalization, but it's also about form management, which is really key when you think about the interactions with Dynamics here. So if I want to fill out a form to become a wealth management customer here, this whole experience can be built using Experience Manager, right? We use Experience a ton at Adobe. So what I can do is I'll just fill out the rest of my form here. And in this case, it's pre-populated. You might have noticed that. That's because in this case, we're an existing customer, right? So we're able to use Dynamics data, CRM data, to pre-populate and personalize form experiences here. So pre-tax income, we're going to go. And so forth. We'll just kind of type this in quick. And as you navigate through the form, Experience Manager is also able to adapt. So for instance, if I were to say that I have a home, we have a new field that becomes available here. Oh, we have a new field that becomes available here, I'm sorry. In this case, we'll kind of simulate the abandonment of that process, right? This is pretty common on really lengthy forms or when you're making a purchase and you don't complete it all the way, and you get that, abandonment activity. And so what's happening right now, and it's just going to take a moment, is we're now creating a new record in Dynamics. A brand new lead is now available to the wealth management team to nurture. And so what we're going to do in a moment is I'm going to switch over to Adobe Campaign, and I'm going to show you how that profile is created and how we use that for remarketing and retargeting. And beautiful. Okay. Okay, so if I switch over to Campaign here, let's take a look at our profile of our customer. Okay, so here we go. So we can see here, this is the beginning of the journey. And you'll see this view a few different times here. This is our integration just with Campaign showing that this journey has just begun. Next thing that we want to do is actually re-engage here to complete that form. So I can run a workflow that's going to essentially trigger an email. It's going to run a workflow that's going to send her an email to complete filling out that form. Now, I'm doing this kind of for demo purposes. I'm showing it to you as I have to go in and do it, click the button. But we actually, realistically, is probably going to be an automated process. Maybe it's a batch thing. Maybe it's automatically after 2 hours from abandonment, we re-engage the individual. So if we come over to her email here, we get that email from Campaign. And so again, this is the personalized piece. You notice it's got Sarah's name in it. It's all about redirecting her to complete that form that she had before. But in this case, what she also has the option to do is just request that appointment with the financial advisor. So she can request it here. It's always a great opportunity to collect more data that's useful for the conversation here. So she'll fill out our phone number, select the data for appointment, and go ahead and select that there. So now what's happened is we've actually gone ahead and moved that lead process forward. So if we come back to her profile and we refresh, what we see is that email has been sent from Campaign. We can preview it, right? We can see exactly what she saw, and we can see that lead status has moved on. And all of this is really important because it all is connected back into Dynamics as well. So now as a wealth management agent, I can come into Dynamics, and I can look at my leads. And there I've got my new lead from Sarah. And what's really cool about this is as a user of Dynamics, you don't need to ever switch to the Campaign view that I just showed you, right? Let that happen in the background. You don't need to worry about that. Because here in Dynamics, you have access to all of the information that comes from and is powered by Campaign. So for instance, I also have right in here that whole lead journey that I showed you from Campaign is embedded right here into Dynamics as well. So as a wealth management agent, I can say, oh, I can see this journey. I have full information and have an intelligent conversation with this individual about what she's interested in and so forth. I can also see those emails. I can preview them from right here as well. And the other piece that's pretty cool is that she actually has control over the conversation as well. So being able to send out an appointment confirmation. In this case, what's pretty cool is we can build these marketing approved templates in Campaign. So your marketing department, builds out these templates that only you can edit parts of, but you're still in control, right? Adding the personalization from the agent or from the sales representative is really key here. So in this case, we can select the appointment confirmation, and because we know it's Sarah, because we have that CRM data that's coming into Campaign, if you look at the body of the email here, we're personalizing it with her name and the date that I just selected in the email, and in the calendar dropdown, right? I mean, you kind of expect these things as consumers these days, but it's also amazing how many brands aren't doing it. It's also a great opportunity to think about how you can, go further with the personalization piece. So I will go ahead and send this email out. And at this point, what we're able to do is I want to talk about one other touch point with Adobe here, and that's called Adobe Sign. And Adobe Sign is our tool for electronic signatures that's also integrated right here into Dynamics. So for instance, let's say that Sarah comes in to have a conversation. She wants to sign up. We can actually send out that electronic contract for her to sign here. And it's pretty cool because it only takes me a couple of clicks, again, as the wealth management agent, to be able to send out this communication to her. So we're going to create a contract, and essentially what this is doing is pulling that data from Dynamics into a document, and we'll send it out for agreement. So this is a really cool way of kind of signing that document wherever she is. It's all about allowing the wealth management agent to be focused in their job and their software solutions, and then allow Sarah to be able to communicate and engage the way that she wants to. So we'll send this. Great. We'll come back to our email, and sure enough, okay, we got both of those emails that we talked about. Both are using that campaign technology. So right here, you've got that confirmation email, also sent from Campaign, but we never went into Campaign to send it, right? We sent it from Dynamics, and now we have that contract to sign here as well. And if I go ahead to sign the contract, right, Sarah could be on her computer or on her phone. We just need a couple of clicks here to be able to sign. And the reason I'm showing you this is because this engages the whole lead management process. As I click to sign, I'm moving that lead down the funnel across all the systems. So if we switch back to my view in Campaign and refresh again, you can see all the way through that signing engagement triggered through Campaign and Dynamics the ability to update that status of the lead, right? And move her from somebody who is just a lead to somebody who is known. And you see here, we haven't opened this email yet, but she also automatically got another email from Campaign welcoming her into the program. So this is an example of using Campaign for email, but we can also use it for cross-channel capabilities as well. So maybe she downloads the mobile app, we send her a personalized push notification. She wants to file a claim, maybe change her beneficiary. She can do all that through the app as well. So it's just another way of tying these pieces together. And again, if you come back to her profile and we refresh it again, you will see that all this data updates in real time across these solutions here. So there you go. So it's all here. So this is just, again, the connection between Dynamics, Campaign, and Experience Manager. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into Campaign and Experience Manager and talk a little bit about the configurations and the way we set those pieces up. So I will start off with Experience Manager here. So Experience Manager configuration is pretty simple for the forms piece, right? In both Campaign and Dynamics integrations, we essentially pull in the tables and custom fields from Dynamics and populate it into our product here. So in this case, I'm in AEM Forms right now, and these are all of the fields that I chose to bring in for my contacts and leads tables from within Dynamics. So this is fine, right? Like, there's not a whole lot I can do with this until you actually get to the building out of the content. So here's a form that I started to build out with Experience Manager. So this is, again, the marketer's view of the tool. In here, I can see how I can build out the form. I have drag and drop capabilities, but I also have my data model objects here. And as I scroll through this, you'll notice a couple of these have these little blue dots here. So these are data fields that are coming from Dynamics that I'm then syncing into the form itself. So remember in the wealth management demo how it was pre-populated, right? That's because I built it with Experience Manager using Dynamics data. And just to give you a reference here, it's really easy to add additional fields here. So let's say I want to add the email address field in Dynamics, right? It's just a drag and drop process. That's how you build the forms in Experience Manager, and you can see that it lights up that field as now, again, with the blue dot coming from Dynamics. So this is a little bit about how you build a form with Dynamics data on the back end. The other piece is the site's personalization here. So as a marketer building with Experience Manager, you get this cool little toolbar at the top of the screen that lets you preview what your content is going to look like depending on who's visiting it and depending on the types of data that you're using. So for instance, I can look at what does the anonymous individual look at when they come to the website. And then I can look at, what is somebody in, let's say, a different segment? What experience did they have when they come to the website? So this is Experience Manager for websites for building out that content. In this case, we're using personas, right? This kind of a generic idea of a segment. But we can use different types of data, including the dynamics data as well. So assuming someone is authenticated, we use our APIs to pull in that data and personalize on that one-to-one basis. So that's a little bit about Experience Manager. I'll come over to Campaign for a moment. And first I'll talk about configuring dynamics and Campaign together. Essentially, there is a wizard in Campaign to basically allow you to pull in those custom data fields and tables. It's a one-time configuration. I like to think that I was able to do it, so it can't be that tough to set it up, pull in the custom fields, and start using them. So once you pull that data in, it comes out as its own schema, and you can, if you're interested in this sort of stuff, you can then use any of the fields that you pull in for your segmentation and Campaign, for your personalization in those emails, and so forth there. And then I just do want to show you a little bit more of the Campaign journey that I showed you earlier. So I mentioned, I sent a workflow in Campaign before I just kind of clicked a button on the website. What's happening on the back end is that I'm automatically looking, I have a scheduler activity, which means let's say every 2 hours, I want to look at people who abandoned the form. Remember, I ran it in real time. But this is what a workflow looks like in Campaign, right? I'm looking at any new leads from my website. In this case, it was Sarah. I'm looking if they completed the application. If they did, in this case, I don't really care. They're already on the journey I want them to be on. And if they haven't, then I'm going to use my channel preferences to determine what the next best step is for them, right? Is it email? Is it a push notification? Is it a text message, and so forth? And then, as I signed that document, she got a welcome email. And this is as simple as that was here, right? So what we call an external signal in Campaign, looking for something on the web, right? Looking at maybe that signature activity, that purchase activity, any of those pieces are coming in here. So these are a couple examples of how we can use and build out in Campaign the data sets here. So I want to cover a couple other quick things here. So I want to just touch on the types of data that flow between these solutions here. So today we really looked specifically at examples around like retail data. So retail, we talked about purchase history. Segments, we talked about. In financial services, we looked at lead status and things like that. All of the data flows bidirectionally between, in this case, Campaign and Dynamics. So that means any action I take in one product is updated in the other. And that's really important because we don't see the user of Campaign necessarily as the user of Dynamics, right? It could happen for sure, but overall we want to build out solutions that enable users in the tools that they're familiar with. So all data, whether it be your leads or your contacts, is bidirectional between Campaign and Dynamics. And then as I showed you with the journey in Dynamics, you're able to add in the ability to view the marketing history, the marketing campaigns, the calendars are all accessible in there as well. And I think it's really important to highlight again that you can send emails or cross-channel messages from Dynamics using Campaign. Imagine Campaign is sending all the communications. You can just be part of that without sending it on its own in isolation here. So essentially what we can think about this as we've got our data in something like Dynamics, and we can share it over to Campaign. Campaign is a really interesting tool because you have to be talking to an individual with Campaign, right? There's no cookie ID or segment. We're talking to you as a person, right? We're using PII. So it's a really important opportunity for personalization. So we can do a ton there, right? To get to all of our different channels. So let me just move on here. So the next piece I'll touch on is the Experience Manager architecture, what's happening on the back end there. So essentially, you've got your different data sources that are coming together with your content, right? I think of the Experience Manager as really a critical part of Adobe's story between data and content, right? Because it really is truly pulling both of those pieces together, right? And so in this case, you've got, whether it be anonymous data or CRM data from Dynamics, you're pulling that in and using that for your personalization. And again, Campaign and Experience Manager run on Azure. So that's an extra bonus point there. And then finally, I want to touch on how it all works together here, right? I want to look at how do all of these pieces kind of come together for this solution across our technology pieces here, right? And so you've got your different data sources, whether that be anonymous, PII, second party, third party, and processing that across the different solutions here. So some of the things that we didn't really talk about that we certainly can are things like Audience Manager, building the profile of the individual for that remarketing. So remember I showed you Experience Manager change the content of the website, right? Audience Manager helps us build the data around that person from first, second, and third-party sources. Media Optimizer, or our advertising cloud, as I should say, is all about getting that brand out there to other sites, right? That's what we saw when we saw the Bing search results, right? We tied that in together. Of course, we talked about Experience Manager managing the website. We didn't look at a mobile app, but it would be the same experience, and that's actually a cool point is that if you're using CRM data to personalize on a one-to-one basis through authentication on your website, you can do it on your mobile device as well if you're using AEM. So that means the same banner images that I see on the website are the same ones that I see in-app as well. So, and again, we run this focused on the platform level. The data that flows between our organizations is really key here. So, I don't want to bore you with too many more demos, so I'm not going to. But we're also pretty early. So I want to open it up for any questions or comments or conversation on what I showed or what I didn't show or anything that I can answer for you about our solutions. Yeah, I'm supposed to ask you to go to the microphone. It's not my thing. I just do what I'm told.
First question I have is, will we be getting these slides?
Yeah, I think so. There's a place I upload them, so yeah.
Okay, and then the second one is, we were early adopters in my company of AEM back to 6.2, and there was no integration with .NET, Microsoft.
Yeah.
We had a line of business coming from Sitecore.
Okay.
So, the move to go to Adobe was not very popular because he thought it was Java and that technology stack centric.
Yep.
So my question is, now we've moved down the way in terms of other initiatives, in specific e-delivery, and you talked a bit about e-signature, and we had to implement something for our correspondence called Spark Post. Okay. But our advertising, branding, marketing folks are using Campaign. So I know there was an MTA for Campaign, kind of bridge the gap, but the goal was to have one solution for e-delivery. So when you talk about this integration and 365 and all, what is the directional, vision in terms of architecture for end-to-end e-delivery? Because there's also an issue of these bursts of emails that go out for marketing and Campaign.
Yep.
We had to consider for storage. There's a whole architectural component around that. Could you explain that?
Sure.
My question's so lengthy, but
No, it's a great question. So a big part of the direction we're moving in is we kind of brand our products under this Experience Cloud name. And a big direction we're moving in from an MTA perspective is taking the capability to send from Campaign and make it more of a service across the solutions, right? Because we totally see that as an opportunity and something that we can address and move forward and fix more of, right? And you said 6.2 you had, right? And so we're on 6.4 now. Okay, cool. So more of that stream, more of those integrations are accessible. I think that the MTA question is a really good one because I think that it should be that way. And then I think you mentioned about kind of batch email sending or that being an issue. Right. Right. Yeah, and so I think that the goal will be to use that single MTA across all the different technologies. Yeah.
I have a few questions. Okay. You said you have fully configurable web APIs.
Yeah.
At what level does AEM or the Adobe Cloud use the APIs for Dynamics? I got a few questions.
I would have to follow up with you on the exact which APIs they are. but I know we're able to pull in like the profile data for the personalization into the sites piece. As for the forms piece, it's not necessarily the APIs, it's an OData connector.
Okay. And then when you said there is bidirectional between Adobe and Dynamics, what's the cadence that it moves data?
And in terms of the frequency of it, it depends on the amount of data that you're sending, right? So in this case of these demos, I'm sending a single lead back and forth. It's real time. The latency is not, it depends on the amount of data. It can be sometimes a couple of hours. But again, that's where we are right now. The future state, which is what we talked about in the keynote yesterday, is that it's all real time.
Yeah. And then you guys have a new API developer portal.
Yes.
How far along is that for connecting services and utilizing that tool?
So that's a great question. So we haven't put all the different products that you see up here, all their APIs available there yet, but it is totally growing really fast. And I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but there's a session specifically on the developer portal that I would recommend, and I can help you find it if it was not, or put you in touch with the woman who led that session around what we're doing there.
One more question. So you mentioned the campaign can use external signatures, or external signals rather. Is that event-based? Can we send messages from like our Dynamics instance over to the campaign platform, and then it perform in real time?
Yep. Cool. Absolutely. And that would be absolutely real time. Yep. Other questions? Okay. Well, feel free to come up, ask me anything else that you might have. I appreciate your time this morning. We do have, I have to tell you, fill out the survey, another thing I was told to tell you. So feel free to do that. And swing by our Adobe booth. We've got some really good swag, but we also have a whole bunch of other demos and experts there as well. So thanks, guys, for coming. I appreciate it.